Welcome! If you don't know me, I'm Crystal. I'm 26 years old, born and raised in Hawaii, specifically on the island of Oahu. And I have an autoimmune disease called MOG. So it's a short acronym for myelin oligodendrocyte protein cell, and it's where that specific cell is inflamed. And for me, it was inflamed in my eyes. I know other people have it inflamed in their spinal cord or in their brain, so everyone's stories are different. I'm just gonna give a little backstory as to how this all started. So let's begin. So like I said, my myelin protein cell was inflamed in my eyes, and how this all began was through eye pain. So the symptoms started back in November of 2022. I took a sick leave from work, and I really needed answers because it just wasn't normal of me to get something like this. So took myself to urgent care since at the time I didn't have a PCP, and they thought I might have had COVID. So they COVID tested me. I did it, got the results back. It was negative. So they were like, we don't know what this is. We're really sorry. You might have to seek another professional help. So I was like, okay, whatever. I then decided to go through a virtual doctor to explain what I was going through. And so therefore he prescribed me steroids to help with the pain. And that did help, on top of antibiotics to kind of like help with, my bones and stuff like that. So yeah, the steroids did help. I was only put on a very low dosage for just a week. And so things were looking good. My eye pain was gone, and then it came back. So when it came back, I told him again, like, hey, like, I'm gonna need more of those steroids. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, the pain is coming back again. So then he described me on 2 weeks of prednisone. And yeah, it worked. It does its magic, of course, but it's not long term, right? So after that whole month of being put on prednisone and whatnot, comes December in the second week, I will say, on a Wednesday I was teaching, and then I started having really bad headaches. It was just really unbearable to get through the day. So I told my principal I had to take myself to the ER. The eye pain was coming back, so it just wasn't helping at all. Took myself to the ER, and I requested for an MRI. Now, because I didn't have a PCP, I was denied an MRI, which I thought was super bogus, because why would anyone deny something that you're seeking help for? I was really upset with that. So I couldn't get an MRI. They checked my eye pressure and said I was totally normal. My vision was 20/20. And I was crying because I was like, I've been dealing with this for a whole month, and I still don't understand why I'm getting these symptoms still yet. So the best thing that came out of that ER visit was this ophthalmology referral, because I visited this ophthalmologist the next day on a Thursday. I went completely blind not completely blind, but I went completely blind on my right eye, and my left eye was my vision in my left eye was extremely blurry. So I had double vision issues. I had someone take me to the ER. I met with the ophthalmologist, and we did the laser test, we did everything, and he was like, you need to go to the ER right now. You have serious problems. There's something in your eye. I don't know what it is, but it's blocking, you from seeing what you can see. So I was like, okay. So I was like, and I asked him a question. I was like, am I gonna go blind if I don't get this treated right away? He was like, yeah, you can. So I was crying, I was sobbing, I was like, okay. And I had to kind of just take a deep breath. And he was like, with the right medicine and the right doctors, you'll be fine. So just don't worry about it too much right now, but you gotta get yourself to the ER. And I'm assuming that your stay is going to be a week. So I was like, oh my God. I have to I was just worried about having to scramble and make sub plans since I'm teaching, or since I'm a teacher, or since I was a teacher. And I was just like, okay. So I asked another friend to come pick me up at the ophthalmologist and to take me straight to the ER. So my friend took me to the ER, and you know, I had multiple blood tests done on me to figure out what I had. I also went through a spinal lumbar puncture. Yeah, so they stuck like long needles in my spinal cord so that they can get fluids out for testing, and that was quite an experience. I thought I was gonna be really scared, but actually it felt nice. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It felt like an acupuncture, you know, like just longer needles, and you know, they numb you in the back so you kind of like spaz out a bit. I had like, my experience with that was actually pretty fun. So I was totally like brave during that process. So yeah, multiple blood tests, spinal puncture, and I think that's about it for that first ER visit. The aftermath of that whole week stay, I was completely bedridden. Like, because of the spinal puncture, I had bad migraines, so I could not, like, standing up, all the fluid would go to my head, and it was so painful. Like, I would just rather lay down the whole week and just relax. So that's what I did. And then we'll fast forward it to March. So in March was when all the results came back, and they determined that I had MOG. So that wasn't the best news I wanted to hear, but I knew that there was something wrong with me. There's no cause to it, which is also another thing that I'm not okay with. You know, they say that it's environmental factors that they can't determine, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, why do I have this? But it is what it is. I had, I would say, 2 more ER visits during that year in 2023. So I used up all my sick leave. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why I quit teaching, was because it was just so overwhelming, taking work back home and then being stressed out about it and then using up all my sick leaves. There's just no way I could maintain that job at all. And I just really felt bad for my students too. So I had to really cope with that. It was something that was really hard on me. It made me really sad. So yeah, like, an autoimmune disease really does change your life, you know? And if there's anything that I learned out of this, I would say it's just to take care of your gut health a lot. I consider myself to be a pretty healthy person, so it's just, I'm still confused as to why I have this, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it, you know, like could be from the COVID shot, which I do have a slight belief that that's possible. But other than that, you know, I have a really strong support system and great friends, great family who love me dearly and will go through like the pits of hell to like take care of me. So I'm just really thankful about that. And I live on an island where there's so many things you can do to take care of your health too. So, you know, on my free time, I like to go to the beach. I like to hike. I do go to the gym. There's just so many organic foods here too that I can use to make recipes with. So, you know, there's always a plus side to everything. But yeah, you know, I like in the future with this channel, I really hope that I can show you around my island and also, you know, take you with me when I do get my treatments. So I do have an outpatient nurse that comes to my home and, you know, does the process with the Gammaplex. So yeah, I'm serving this to be informational and entertainment. So yeah, hopefully this is a good first video, but I'm so excited to meet you all, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.
Explain yourself, girl, why so cold? The way you kiss it, oh so wrong.